Thank you everyone for attending this growth session. I hope that you would come out with a better realization of why do you love that way. And I'm sure this is not only about romantic love, it will talk about different kinds of love. Love for family, love for children, love for workmates, and of course, romantic love. Diba? So bakit nga ba tayo nagmamahal ng ganito? And definitely, it is deeply rooted from how we were also loved before. So yun po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Ayan, maraming salamat again for that very touching and wonderful introduction yan, Miss Gay. Binanggit mo na naman yung tatay ko, kaya medyo parang ako'y naiiyak na naman. Ayan. Okay, so I will be sharing my presentation with you. Okay? Why do I love this way from childhood to adulthood? I'm sure you are wondering, bakit ba ito yung topic na pinili ko? Syempre, when we are given the chance to, well, we are invited to do a growth session for RCW, syempre, how can I say no to my RCW family? And nakikita ko kasi from counseling with students that I'm very close to, nakikita ko talaga na sobrang importante yung naintindihan nila kung ano yung pinagmulan nila, kung bakit sila ganito. Diba? And I've always been an advocate of good parenting. It's not just about, you know how to parent your children, but you really have to understand and you have to be able to touch their hearts. Because whatever it is, whatever kind of parenting that you will provide them in their young age, that will definitely make an impact on their adult life. Okay, so siguro ngayon, meron lang muna akong tatanungin sa inyo. I want you to reflect on this first. Do you behave in puzzling or self-destructive ways when you're in a close relationship? Like I've seen a lot of clients, students who would really self-destruct to that point when their relationships do not work. So kayo ba yon, tipong ganon? Do you repeatedly make the same mistakes over and over again, whether in friendship or in romantic relationships? Basta sabi mo, ba't palagi na lang akong niloloko? Palagi akong iniiwan? O palagi na lang akong na-outcast sa mga barkada? Palagi hindi ako kasama, hindi ako naimbitahan? Do you repeatedly make the same mistakes? Okay. Do you also struggle to form meaningful connections in the first place? Like, do you really have close friends? And when I say friends, these are not shallow friendships. Okay? I would always remind students, hindi lahat ng kaibigan sa Facebook o yung sinasabing Facebook friend ay kaibigan. Di ba yun nga yung medyo hindi na po tama sa henerasyon ngayon kasi nga they would definitely voice out what they feel in all their social media accounts, feeling, knowing, or assuming that those who would read what they would post are their friends. Pero hindi yun yung kaibigan. Diba? Do we really have those meaningful connections? Whether it be friendship, dating, are we dating the wrong people over and over? Okay. So I'd like you to reflect on this and maybe find an answer to my question or to my questions later on based on how I will discuss attachment. Okay. Pero bago doon, meron akong papakinig sa inyong mga linya. Hindi ko alam kung familiar sa inyo to. Pero para sa aking mga siguro 90s ata siya sumikat. So, alam ko marami sa inyo alam tong kantang ito. Listen to this. Ayan. Ganito po ba tayo kaklingi? Ayan, ito na po yung kanta. Totoo na ito.
Kahit na namumukhang tanga, kahit na sinabi Sinasaktan ako, umiiyak ako, dahil sa'yo, eto pa rin ako. Halos baliw sa'yo.
Kahit na sinasaktan ako, relate much? Ganun ba tayo ka-martir sa pag-ibig? Kahit niloloko tayo? Another line from this song.
Kahit na iloloko mo lang ako, kahit na tumingin ka sa iba, magmahal ka ng iba, magbubulag-bulagan ako, masakit man ito sa puso ko.
Magbubulag-bulagan ako. Marami ba ditong mga willing to go blind even if they know that it isn't working anymore? Yan, kahit na tumingin ka sa iba. My God, I just can't. I don't want to judge people, but I don't see myself enabling this kind of relationship. So, next line.
Dahil mahal na mahal kita, hindi ako matatakot, mahihiya, ano man ang sabihin nila. Dahil mahal kita, dahil mahal na mahal kita. Gagawin ko ang lahat, pangako mo lang di ako iiwan, dahil mahal na mahal kita.
Pangako mo lang, di ako iiwan, gagawin ko ang lahat. Are you able to relate this way? Are you also a people pleaser? Would you want people around you to always be happy? Would you always want people around you say, yes, I affirm you all the time? Gusto mo bang palaging masaya yung tao sa paligid mo? And I would always remind, for example, clients, when you end up pleasing people, you end up hurting yourself in the process. Because, di ba, you tend to forget, ano ba talaga yung gusto ko? Kasi you'd always look at how would I please people. Because I wanted that affirmation. I wanted that love. I wanted that care. I wanted that so desperately. Okay? Another one, perfectionist po ba tayo? But we always would, ano bang tawag nito? Romanticize being a perfectionist or perfectionism. Ay, gusto ko palaging perfect. Gusto ko as in ganito. Mataas palagi yung grades ko. Kailangan ako yung number 1. Kailangan walang mali. Are you the type of person? Bakit? Pag ba hindi perfect, hindi ka na ba worthy mahalin? Yun ba yung pakiramdam mo? Pag hindi ba mataas yung grades mo, feeling mo wala ka ng kwenta? Pag ba hindi ka nasabihan na ikaw yung best employee or number 1, sa tingin mo ba kawalan yon para sa'yo? Okay? I also would like to ask you, have you been ghosted or have you ghosted someone? Do you have trust issues? I hear that a lot from Gen Z, from students. Dami kong trust issues. Okay, saan ba nanggaling yung trust issues na yan? Saan ba nanggaling yung ghosting na yan? Nawala, bigla na lang nawala. Diba? Yung situationship, ghosting, all those terms came out only in the past like 2 years. Okay? Or do you have anger issues? Of course, being angry is normal, but are you the typical who would be angry every time? Alam mo yun, yung konting triggered ka palagi, para kang ito, palagi ka sasabog. Diba? Parang palagi kang may pinagdadaanan. Ikaw ba to? Maybe you'd like to ask yourself, how did I form that attachment during my early years? Because our relationship with our primary caregivers, normally these are our parents. Okay? Pero syempre ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, hindi na kasi parents lang yung ating primary caregivers. It can be our grandparents, it could be a kamag-anak, it could be a very close friend of the family. But how did you form that attachment? Because that attachment is very crucial, okay? In how you love and how you are loving now and how you are forming relationships now. Okay? And when you say attachment, this is characterized by the tendency to seek and maintain closeness to a specific figure. Di ba meron kang like a favorite person to go to? Kanina nasabi na ni Miss Gay, it's really my dad. That's my go-to person. Mommy ko nga, madalas siya nagsiselos, lalo na kahit nung mga high school. Pag dumating ako from school, the first person I will look for at home is my dad. Kahit nasa harapan ko yung nanay ko, asan si Papa? Okay? Because you want, diba? You want to know that I feel safe because there's that specific person here. I'm safe now. And that is an important feeling any person should feel, especially young kids. Diba? Kasi wala naman silang kamuang-muang pa sa mundo eh. Okay? And let me introduce you to you, I mean from child and adolescent psychology, I hope my former students or students now remember John Bowlby. He is the father of attachment, okay? Naniniwala ako sa kanyang sinasabi that, okay, that the caregivers, the bond that we form with our caregivers during childhood has definitely a very critical influence on our future and social and intimate relationships. And even our colleagues. Diba? It creates a template or rules for how you build and interpret relationships. Diba? Kasi yan yung standard mo of love. Diba? Kung paano ka inalagaan, yun yung standard mo. This is how I want to be loved. And when, kids are not loved properly, yun yung nakakatakot. Kaya yun yung pag-uusapan natin. Kasi meron yung impact. There will always be a huge impact on how they're going to form relationships later on. Mapapansin nyo, I'm sure meron ako dito, mga kasamahan dito na mga guro. Diba? Mapapansin nyo, sino yung mga estudyante na mga ayaw ang mga group activity, takot sa ibang tao, or takot sa ibang makipag-group sa bagong kagrupo, or takot magsalita, takot mapahiya. Diba? Parang, why? Why would they have that feeling? Diba? So maybe there was an experience prior that gave them that impression na, I'm not safe. Though ayoko, dito lang ako sa sigurado. Or, kasi dati ito yung na-experience ko from my caregivers. Kaya hindi ko na to, poprotektahan ko na yung sarili ko by probably withdrawing from people. Okay? And we learn to trust the
Hi everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We'll wait for our speaker, Miss Nina. So wait for a bit. Thank you.
Sorry, tayo'y nawala. Ako po ay babalik. I am finally back again. I'm sorry for the lost connection. Okay, let me go back to what I was saying early on. I was saying that it's consistency that is important. Okay? Hindi pwedeng today I am a good parent, I will attend to all your needs, and tomorrow wala akong pakialam sa'yo. Okay? Maguguluhan yung bata na parang, hala, ba't ganun? Diba? Ba't ganun yung nangyayari? Yun yung napaka-inconsistent, diba? Ng, ng pinapakita sa akin ng aking magulang or ng aking caregiver. Okay? And of course, our worst attachment issues get triggered during times of stress. Okay? Kaya talaga minsan, 'di ba? Para kang itong pusang ito, you get triggered. Lumalabas yung galit mo, biglang out of nowhere. Saan ang galing 'yon? Ba't siya galit na galit? 'Di ba? Saan ang galing 'yon? Ba't bigla siyang nagwawala or ba't bigla siyang tumahimik? Ba't bigla na lang siyang ba't bigla niya akong ginus? Ba't bigla niya akong minura? 'Di ba? So you get triggered because you now feel unsafe again. 'Di ba? Kasi yun yung kailangan na ng isang bata eh. We want to feel safe. I want to feel that somebody loves me and that I am taken care of. Okay? So, sabi ngayon, yung study po ni John Bowlby, yung sinasabi ni John Bowlby na caregivers, attachment that they form with caregivers is very critical, followed through by another person in psychology, and she is Mary Ainsworth. Okay, so she was the one who said that consistency is very important. And based on the consistency of the caregivers, would now say what kind of attachment a child would form. And based on that attachment that the child will form, will make an impact in the child's adult life or later life. Okay? So ngayon maiintindihan nyo na, kaya pala ako ganito. Diba? Kaya pala ito pala yung problema ko. Kaya pala ganito ako with friends or ganito ako with romantic partners or ganito ako sa mga colleagues ko. Kaya pala. Okay? So, I'd like to introduce to you the 4 attachment styles of Mary Ainsworth. So, these are secure, avoidant, ambivalent, and disorganized. Okay? I'll start first with secure attachment. Okay? Yung secure attachment in childhood, may tinatawag tayong approach-oriented behavior, which means the child, diba? The child is very dependent on the caregiver. Wala namang batang makakapagtimpla ng gatas niya, diba? Ng mag-isa. Nakakatakot pag nakapagtimpla siya ng gatas mag-isa or nakapagpalit siya ng diaper mag-isa. So definitely, yung buhay ng batang yan ay nakasalalay sa nag-aalaga sa kanya. Right? Kung gaano ka-attentive yung nag-aalaga, papansinin niya ba ako pag umiyak ako o pababayaan niya ako? Okay? So, yung batang securely attached, meron siyang approach-oriented behavior like I know, okay? When I cry, somebody will attend to me. If I express my emotions, I get my needs met. It's safe to rely with other people. Diba? Kasi alam mo, umiyak ka, meron nag-attend sa'yo, kaya hindi po totoo. I always would remind this. I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know how it works with the lungs. They say, di ba, paiyakin daw yung bata para daw mag-expand yung lungs. So I am not sure of that, but I will be coming from psychology. That's not right. Kasi yung bata na umiiyak, yun yung way niya of expressing my needs. Kasi wala namang batang nagsasalita kasi tiyanak na yun, baka pag nagsalita yun, di ba? So, umiiyak lang siya kasi, hey, mom, dad, lolo, lola, pansinin niyo ako. Di ba? So, pag umiyak umiyak siya at may nag-attend sa kanya, di ba? It is safe to rely with other people. People can be trusted. If I now say or express my feelings, somebody would attend to me. Diba? So, yan yung batang securely attached. So, in adulthood, yan, pagtanda niyan, they are the people who trust, rely, and communicate their needs. Diba? Sila yung hindi takot na mag-risk. Kasi di ba, yun yung sabi mo, trust issues. Ba't kami trust issues? Kasi natakot ako masaktan. Part of getting in a relationship is failing. Wala namang di ba? There's no assurance in this world. Nothing is permanent. Di ba? You just have to trust and pray, di ba? That you are guided. Okay? You rely and you communicate your needs. Di ba? Like a lot of relationships, yung mga bata, tatanungin ko, sinabi mo ba yan sa magulang mo? Bakit ganyan yung bakit nagtatampo ka o ba't ka nagagalit? Anong sagot nila? Hindi po. O ba't hindi mo sinabi? Hindi rin naman nila ako papakinggan. So ayaw nila kasi nagkaroon na sila ng experience na I'm not being listened to. So they don't communicate their needs anymore. But those children who are securely attached in adult life, they're the ones who would say, hey, I got offended with what you said earlier. So, gusto ko lang malaman mo, rather magparinig ako sa isang social media, di ba, na may isang friend ako na ganito and ganyan, di ba? Ganon yung nangyayari ngayon. But when you are securely attached, you communicate directly. You also identify unhealthy relationships. Naalala ko noon, may isang client na nagtanong sa akin. Sabi niya, so kung securely attached ka ba? Sabi niya, ibig sabihin nun, yung relationship mo perfect na. Sabi ko, number 1, walang perfect relationship. Number 2, it is not an assurance that if you are securely attached, that your relationships will all be successful. But what I am sure of is that you are able to identify when you are in an unhealthy relationship. Yung hindi na to tama. Kasi maraming tao, hindi nila nakikitang nasa mali silang relasyon. Maraming tao, okay lang. Kahit sinasaktan ako, kahit magbulag-bulagan ako. Diba? Sabi nga ng kanta kanina. So yun, nakakatakot. Diba? Parang, hindi mo nakikitang may mali. Diba? But when you are securely attached, you know, this is not right. So ikaw kung magulang ka at alam mo na ang na-form mong relationship sa anak mo ay securely attached. Alam mo yan, pagdating ng panahon, okay, marirealize niyan kung sakaling nag-asawa yan, nagkaroon yan ng partner, hindi yan papayag na tapak-tapakan siya at hindi yan papayag na loko-lokohin siya. Kasi alam niya na hindi yun tama. Diba? Hindi yun yung kanyang barometer of a relationship. Okay? And when also faced with disappointment, setbacks, hurdles, misfortune, okay, they're resilient enough to bounce back. Diba? Babangon ako at dudurugin kita. Diba? Na parang pagbalik ko, I'll come out stronger. Diba? Hindi naman, again, it's not an assurance na hindi ka papalpak. Papalpak, pwede yun. Lahat tayo, I'm sure we have all experienced our own share of failures. But again, it's not the failure that counts. It's the getting up after that failure is what matters. So if you're securely attached, sure yan, babangon yan. Iiyak yan, probably. Lulungkot yan. Baka iinom yan ng 1-2 bottles. Na mananahimik muna yan. Pero pagkatapos noon, tatayo yan. And that person will come out stronger. And that person in adulthood would have boundaries that are clear. Nakakalungkot, marami ako nakakausap, 30, 40, 50 years old, ask them, what are your boundaries? I remember a 35-year-old last week asked me, can you please explain to me what boundaries are? I just know it from definition, syempre. Pero hindi ko siya alam kung paano siya na-apply in relationship. Sabi niya, I don't have boundaries with family. I don't have boundaries with friends. I don't have boundaries with my relationship. I end up now being so wasted. Diba? But when you are securely attached, boundaries are clear. Okay? Kaya nga sinasabi ko, pag boundaries malinaw sa atin, normally, mas makikita mo rin yung mga tunay na kaibigan o tunay na mga tao para sa'yo. Because these are people who would respect your boundaries. Okay? Sabi ko nga, ito po yung dalawang linya ng sinasabi ng securely attached person. I'll be fine if you don't like me. It's okay. Diba? Ako nga may dagdag pa dyan. It's okay. I don't like you too. Diba? I don't need, diba? I don't need to like you if you don't like me. And it's okay if you don't like me. Okay? Or, I can live without you, but because I love you, I choose to be with you. Diba? In romantic relationship, kasi we always feel like, how am I supposed to live without you? Or I can't live without you. Hindi naman yon yung healthy relationship mindset. Diba? A healthy relationship mindset is about saying, I can live without you. But because I love you, I choose you. I choose to be with you. But that's the healthy relationship. At ito, yung pinakamaganda na kanta ng Securely Attached. Teka lang, sana mag-play siya. Yan, I can buy myself flowers. It's not wrong to love oneself, right? It's not wrong to give what we are able to give others. Okay? So, gusto natin, ito yung target natin. If you're a parent listening to me now, ito yung target natin, di ba? Mapalaki natin yung mga anak natin or that they are securely attached. Okay? Now, kung hindi naman nandito at may problema, then let's understand first, of course, how can we help ourselves when we don't understand where we came from. Okay, so now let me now introduce to you the insecure attachment styles. Okay, so tatlong klase yung insecure attachment styles. One is the anxious preoccupied. Okay, it is sometimes labeled as the ambivalent insecure attachment style. The other one would be the dismissive avoidant. Okay? And the other one would be the fearful avoidant. So ano kaya tayo dito? Or ano kaya yung batang ito? What could be the characteristics that the child would show? And how would that characteristic, okay, turn into like his or her relationship in her adult life. Okay, so let me start first with a reminder. Okay, you know that familiarity becomes the child's comfort zone. So ito can be a good and bad. So kung ang bata sanay yan sa masaya at healthy relationship, yun yung comfort zone niya, yun yung hahanapin niya. Okay? But on the other hand, kung ang batang ito, sanay siya sa magulo, chaotic home, nagmumurahan, nagsisigawan, naglolokohan. Those are all normal. Sabi nga ng mga kabataan na yun, di ba? Normalize. Di ba? Na-normalize na yon, di ba? Sa tahanan niya. Then that becomes the child's comfort zone. Isn't that scary? Ba kaya minsan sasabihin ng ibang tao, hindi ako sanay na parang pag kailangan guluhin ko yung relasyon ko kasi masyadong tahimik. Diba? Kasi hindi nila alam, ang sanay sila yung magulo, yung naglolokohan, nagmumurahan, nagkailangan, nagsisigawan, umaga pa lang yun eh. So ngayon parang kunyari meron siyang karelasyon na very loving or very, lang talaga, calm and composed, parang sasabihin niya, it's so boring. Diba? Kasi hindi ako sanay dun eh. Kasi ang familiar sa akin yung magulo. So that is what make it scary, diba? That is the scary part for the child, because that would be what the child would be familiar with. And another reminder, when parents are unloving, I remind this to parents every time I would have sessions with them. When you are unloving, the child does not perceive you as unloving. Okay? But instead, they believe they are unworthy of your love. Diba? Hindi naman nila nakikita na there's something wrong with my parents. Why are they shouting at me? Why don't they love me? They don't see that way. They would interpret it as, I'm not worthy of love. So imagine that child growing up, believing that I am not worthy of love. So ano ngayon ang gagawin niyan pagtanda niyan? So kahit na lokohin mo ako, kahit na magbulag-bulagan ako, kahit na tumingin ka sa iba, diba? Nagmamakaawa ako, diba? Basta wag mo lang ako iiwan. But they become so desperate for love. Why? Because they believe they are unworthy of love. Diba? Parang nakakalungkot, diba? Minsan tayo, pag meron tayong nakikita mga ganon, minsan andun tayo sa ating mga judgment na, ang baliw-baliw naman ito, nakakaloka naman tong taong to. Pero tingnan mo siya, tingnan mo yung past experience niya kung bakit siya nagkaganyan. Diba? Then that person might, diba? Came from a family or parents or caregivers who are unloving. And so that person grew up believing that I am not worthy of any love. So parang, lang to, breadcrumbs lang. Yung mga tingi-tingi, yung mga sobra-sobra, yung mga tira-tira lang, yun na lang yung tatanggapin ko. Sabi nga ulit ng mga kabataan ngayon, bare minimum. Diba? Why would you settle for bare minimum? But a lot of people would settle for bare minimum. Why? Again, they feel that they would just, get all the love. They think, quote-unquote, the love that they would just, parang people would give them as long as there's love, or they interpret it as love. Okay? So ngayon, ano nga po itong mga insecure attachment na iyon? Okay, first, the anxious preoccupied. Okay, ito po, yung mga batang ito, they have parents who are inconsistent. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, with parents who would give love today, tomorrow, nag-aaway kami, so wala akong pakialam sa'yo, galit ako, sisigawan kita, mumurahin kita. Inconsistent. And so, the child learns, because of the inconsistency, they learn that love and support will not always be there. So imagine mo, parang kang naka-cliffhanger palagi. Diba? Yung parang palagi kang walking on eggshells. Hindi mo alam kung kailan mo merong love at merong ma-feel mo na naman na merong galit o may fear sa pakiramdam mo. Okay? And so, in adulthood, okay, itong taong ito would have a negative self-view, but a positive view of others. Diba, lahat ng tao sa paligid niya, parang feeling niya, okay kayo, pero ako hindi ako magaling, wala akong kwenta. Okay? They also have that deep fear of abandonment. Palagi silang may takot, baka iwanan ako. Diba? That's why they hold on too tight. Ito yung mga sobrang clingy in relationships. Asan ka na? Magpicture ka, sinong kasama mo, patingin ng phone mo, akin na yung password mo. Diba? Pag tinanong mo sila, bakit kailangan mo malaman? Kailangan kasi baka niloloko lang ako. Diba? Baka, sinisigurado ko lang na hindi niya ako iiwan. Sinisigurado ko lang. Diba? Na ako lang yung mahal niya o ako lang yung gusto niya. They're so desperate for reassurance Okay? And they start to panic if they see their partner pull away. Diba? And when you say panic, yung parang bigla ka nakaka-anxiety attack. Diba? Na parang, oh my God, nawawala na siya. Oh my God, hindi na siya sumasagot sa text. Oh my God, 15 minutes na, wala pa siyang reply. Diba? Yun yung feeling ng isang adult who came from an anxious, preoccupied attachment. Kaya ito yung kanta mo. So that anxious attachment would always feel, kulang ako pag wala ka. Diba? So they're always in need of relationships. That's why they, at some point, are the ones who would enter or who would be in codependent relationship. Okay? So they end up pleasing people, they're the enablers, they feel worthless unless they are needed. Why? Because codependent relationship, they're hinged on attachment trauma. Diba? Kailangan gusto ko, kailangan nyo ko, kailanganin nyo ko. Gusto ko ibibigay ko lahat para ngayon kailanganin nyo ko. Diba? I want to please everybody around me. Okay? So, usually these are signs. I'll just give you a run through, but I won't be discussing this. But these are just signs that you are in a codependent relationship. Having a sense of walking on eggshells to avoid conflict. You're often being the one who apologizes, even if you have done nothing wrong. You are regularly trying to change or rescue troubled, addicted, or under-functioning people whose problems go beyond one person's ability to fix. In other words, fixer ka. Diba? Gusto mo inaayos lahat ng mga bagay-bagay. Diba? You have a need for other people to like you in order to feel good about myself. Mahilig ka sa maraming likes, maraming puso sa iyong mga social media accounts, that you feel good when you have all those things. You do anything for the other person, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Diba? To a point, sabi ko nga, you just always say yes. And sometimes, and most of the time actually, you feel as if you have lost a sense of yourself within the relationship. Bakit? Kasi palagi ka na lang bumibigay. Nakakalimutan mo sino ka ba talaga. Diba? Kaya nga a lot of times when when a relationship ends, we end up asking ourselves, sino ba ako? Kasi palagi ako lang yung nag-adjust. So maybe you came from this anxious attachment. Diba? Baka nung bata tayo, ang feeling natin, hindi consistent ang love. Diba? Minsan nandyan, minsan wala. Kaya sobrang nakakatakot palagi. Okay? Now let's go to the next attachment or insecure attachment. This is the avoidant dismissive attachment. So in childhood, ito yung naniniwala sila. They are unworthy of the love of the primary caregivers or their parents. Why? Because the primary caregivers are always unavailable and rejecting. Okay? Either physically, wala talaga kayo, or nandyan kayo pero nire-reject nyo siya. Meaning, di nyo siya pinapansin. Diba? Ang dami nyong ginagawa. Diba? Wala akong time kasi ang dami ko pang trabaho. Kaya nga minsan ngayon, ang daming ganitong mga bata. Diba? Kasi titingnan po natin ngayon, diba? Marami na pong mga magulang, syempre naintindihan po natin because of the economy, because of inflation, diba? Both parents really have to work their ass out, diba? So sometimes to a point, na talagang wala na silang oras, wala sila doon. Or kung nandun naman sila, they reject their child because of so many things they need to attend. Okay? So, yung batang ito, naniniwala siya dahil hindi nga niya nakikita na ay unloving yung parents ko. Nakikita nila, I am unworthy of their love. Kaya siguro nila ako hindi pinapansin. Hindi talaga ako kapansin-pansin. Diba? Hindi talaga ako dapat mahalin. And so, because your needs were never or regularly met, okay? Talagang alam mo na, nasanay ka na. Diba? Sabi mo nga, sanay ka na hindi ka pinapansin. Sanay ka na wala naman doon yung atensyon. So you are now forced to distance yourself. Diba? You withdraw from people. Okay? You try to self-soothe. Diba? Wala kasing nagsusoothe sa'yo. Wala yung, anak, dito ka lang. Diba? Malungkot ka ba? Halika, mag-usap tayo. Walang gaganon sa'yo. Bala ka sa life mo. Diba? So now, you have become overly independent. So in your adulthood, these children whose attachment is avoidant dismissive, they become that super independent. Hindi naman po kasi healthy yung super independent, 'di ba? Kasi dapat meron tayo dapat na paniniwala na may kailangan din natin ang tulong ng ibang tao, 'di ba? At people can be trusted. Yun sana yung gusto natin, yun yung balanse. Pero that high sense of independence is not healthy. Like, I don't need anybody. I'm self-sufficient. Even especially on the emotional level, di ko kailangan kong ayusin, ako na lang to. 'Di ba? Yung problema ko, yung lungkot ko, yung kung ano yung ko, pagiging lonely feeling ko, kaya ko yan ayusin. 'Di ba? So you become too independent to a fault. And you struggle to trust people. Yan. Ito talaga yung may mga trust issues. Ay, wala yan talagang malalalim na friendship because they feel like, itong mga taong to, pagchichismisan lang naman ako. Itong taong to, kailangan lang naman ako kasi meron silang makukuha sa akin. So they always would have that mindset. Diba? Because they can trust people. And they also would tend to hide or suppress feelings when faced with potentially emotional dense situation. So, kayo kunyari in conflict, 'di ba? I'm sure meron kayong kilala. Pagka nandito na yung problema, ayoko mag-usap, I run away, I escape. 'Di ba? Bigla yang nawawala. Ayaw makipag-usap, ginost ka na kasi may problema na. 'Di ba? Ayaw niyang upuan. 'Di ba? Ayoko tong upuan. Alala ko yung client the other week pala. Sabi ko sa kanya, ang challenge niyan, kausapin niya yung kanyang partner. Tapos ano lang ako sa reaction niya, kitang-kita, basang-basa sa reaction niya. Sabi niya, what? Sabi niya, I need to sit down with him and talk. Parang hindi daw niya kaya. Diba? Kasi nga, sabi niya, all my life, I'm used to running away. All my life, I'm used to just fixing things on my own. And now you're telling me to like sit down like with the problem and talk to my partner about it. Parang I can't. Diba? So, yun yung normal, yun yung very, ganun, pagdating ng adult life, ito yung mga yan, pagka may problema, nawawala. Pag sinasabi mag-usap tayo, ay, nawawala, ayaw niyan, ayaw niyan ng problema, lahat daw happy. Diba? Hindi pwedeng lahat happy, diba? Dapat, like when there is a problem, like in families, diba? When there's a problem, you sit down. Yes, probably you may need space. Okay lang naman yung space na yon, pero yung space hindi naman siguro tumatagal like isang linggo, hindi nyo pag-uusapan yung problema. Probably a day or 2 days kasi medyo kunyari very high conflict yung issue at medyo emotions are very high also. Okay, sige, I'm gonna give you space. Isip ka muna. Pero hindi ibig sabihin nun, tapos na yung problema, let's sit down and talk about the problem. And a lot of times, pansin ko, like in the clients that I handle, when I ask them, how do you fix an issue among yourselves, like in a family or like between relationships, sasabihin nila wala. Parang pag okay na. Kunyari, pag nagkatinginan daw, nagkangitian, tapos na. Tapos mag-aaway na lang uli pagka bumalik yung issue. Sabi ko, bakit ayaw niyong pag-usapan? Kasi baka magulo pa uli eh. Kasi na ano na eh, parang okay na eh. Diba? Pero yun, again, it's not healthy. Diba? When in conflict, you cannot keep suppressing. You cannot keep running away. You cannot keep escaping. You have to sit down. You have to face head on and let's talk about this. Diba? Yun lang naman ang maaayos eh, sa kahit anong problema, sa kahit anong relasyon. Kahit ito pa ay problema natin sa trabaho. Diba? You have to really sit down and talk it out. Diba? Kasi kung hindi, wala talagang maaayos. Pero, yun nga, if you're coming from that avoidant, dismissive attachment, sanay ka na hindi ito inaayos. Sanay ka na kailangan tagu-taguan ng feelings. Sanay ka na kailangan, diba, tumakbo na lang kapag nahihirapan na. Okay? Kasi, wala namang taong nandoon sa'yo. Nasanay ka na nung lumalaki ka, wala namang taong nandun para sa'yo consistently. And worse, these people that you thought you could trust, sila yung unang nagre-reject sa'yo. Okay? So ito po yung avoidant, dismissive. And they also prefer fleeting and casual relationship. Okay? So ito yung mga hindi yan nagko-commit, situationship lang, casual dating lang. 'Di ba? Let's check it out lang. 'Di ba? Let's see where it leads. Mga ganyan. Ayaw niya ng malalalim. Ayoko ng commitment, nakakatakot. Because again, I'm super independent eh. 'Di ba? So, and I don't trust people. So, I wouldn't allow you to be in my life. So, mas gusto lang nila yung mga yung day to day. Diba? Yung ngayon, na-meet kita, o sige tayo ngayon, bukas iba. Diba? Kasi casual relationships lang. Okay? And also, they become hyper vigilant. In other words, ano ito eh, ma-assume. Diba? Pag hyper vigilant, lahat nino-notice niya. Diba? Parang konting, huy, bakit yung message niya sa akin? Dati merong I love you, but ngayon love you lang. O bakit ngayon yung love you niya? Dati LOVE, ngayon LUV na. O dati merong period, ba't ngayon tatlo yung period, ... Parang lahat pinansin mo, lahat may ibig sabihin. Diba? Kasi nga, merong takot. Diba? You become, again, you're always on the lookout. Kaya ka naging hyper vigilant. Okay. So now let's go to the last of the insecure attachment. This is the disorganized or the disorganized fearful attachment. So in childhood, ito yung you fend for yourself. Yung parang inanak ka lang, bahala ka na sa buhay mo. I don't know what to expect. Like at home, what can happen? Because I don't know what's happening around me. It's very chaotic. It's so messy. Bigla na lang may nagliliparan ng mga plato. May isa akong client, ganon, sabi niya, lumaki daw siya, bata pa lang siya, nagugulat siya. Bigla na lang nagigising siya, may mga platong nagliliparan, may mga talagang yung sigaw, grabe. Minsan umabot pa raw sa point na may naghahabulan sila ng parang, hindi ko alam, kutsilyo or whatever. So you live in that chaotic environment, and normally you are raised, okay, in an environment that really elicits fear, often involving abuse. Either you were abused or you are an observer. Diba? Meron ka, nakikita mo sa paligid mo, diba? Yung mga naaabuso. Or a traumatic childhood. Okay? Or a neglectful parents. Okay? So, ito po yung tinatawag na disorganized, fearful attachment. So, dahil you fend for yourself, dahil palaging I don't know what to expect from my environment, dahil palaging takot ako. Diba? Like lumalaki akong takot ako sa environment ko. They grow up to have that very poor emotional regulation. Sila yung mga may anger issues. They lash out. Baka sila yung nabaviral. Diba? Sila na lang yung nanunutok, sila na lang yung biglang namamaril. Diba? Yung hindi ka makaregulate, bigla ka na lang sumisigaw, bigla ka na lang nang-aaway ng waiter. You cannot regulate your emotions. I always would remind parents, pagka preschool kasi, ina-expect na tinuturuan na yung batang to regulate emotions. I was a preschool teacher before. And that was our main goal. In my class, ang mga estudyanteng hinahandle ko noon ay 2.5 to 3.5-year-old kids. Yun yung main task ko, to regulate their emotions, diba? To name the emotions, and when they feel emotions that are difficult, such as anger or sadness or frustration, we allow them to feel it, and then, okay, now you're feeling it, how do we deal with it? Pero pagka matanda na, hindi pa niya ma-regulate, ang dami niyang yun nagalit sa mundo, then probably that person came from a disorganized, fearful attachment. They also, sila yung hindi mo mawari. They want intimacy, but on the other hand, they also are afraid to let a person in. Diba? Gusto ko ng relationship, gusto ko ng friendship, gusto ko ng romantic partner. Pero takot din ako eh. So hindi ko sure. Diba? You're always in the middle. Para kang neither here nor there. Gusto pero ayaw. Gusto pero wait lang. Gusto pero takot ako. Diba? Kasi nga, lumaki ka sa isang tahanan or sa isang environment that you do not know what to expect. Diba? Dahil it is such a chaotic environment. Okay? And so, another characteristic would be yung adults na coming from disorganized, they're also the ones waiting for rejection, disappointment, and hurt. Sa kanila, that's part. It is inevitable. Parang, kunyari, hindi nag-reply. Ay, galit yan sa akin. Ay, hindi kasi ako sumama, siguro ayaw niya, hindi niya na niya ako friend. Diba? Parang, palagi kang, you're waiting for it. You assume. Hindi ako pinansin, siguro galit yan sa akin. O siguro disappointed yan sa akin. Ay, yung reply niya, ba't ganito? Sobrang cold. Nire-reject niya ako. Siguro ganito. Because you always would go to that, again, that comfort zone. Sabi nga natin uli kanina, a child would always want to go back to what is comfortable to them, whether good or bad. So sa kanila, ang comfortable sa kanila ay rejection, disappointment, and hurt. Diba? Kaya ba't may tinatawag tayo, sadista ka ba? Diba? Bakit gusto mo sinasaktan ka? Kasi alam nila, gusto ko yun eh. Parte yun ng normal para sa akin, yung sinasaktan ako. And because of that, they're also the ones of higher risk of developing mental health issues. Okay, so sila yung malaki yung chance they would get into substance abuse, delinquent or aggressive behavior, and sometimes there are also the ones who would abuse their own children. Okay, whether physical, sexual, verbal, but they are the ones who would abuse their own children. So meaning the pattern continues. Diba? So the intergenerational trauma continues. Okay. So ngayon, paano gagawin natin? How do we heal? Diba? Kasi sinasabi natin, so kung ngayon, now that I have identified my attachment issue, now I understand, why do I love this way? So ano na? How do I heal? Or can I really heal from it? I'm sure you're asking that. Okay, so number one, the fact that you're here, you're already understanding your childhood experiences. Okay, you are healing, you're starting to heal now because you now start to acknowledge your past experiences. Okay, ngayon, balikan nyo, ano ba yung childhood experiences ko? Diba? Bakit ba ako nagkaganito? Bakit ba ito yung ganito ako magmahal? Ba't ba ganito yung relationships ko? Ba't ganito yung pattern ng relationships ko? Ba't palagi akong niloloko? Bakit palagi akong iniiwan? Bakit palaging hindi ako siniseryoso? Saan ba 'to nag-umpisa? Bakit ba ba't ko ba inaalaw ito sa relationship, 'di ba? So, you understand your childhood experiences. Ako, when I got separated, okay, as I was healing from that separation, syempre, ang ano mo nun, who would want to be separated? But when I understood now, but really, that's not how I saw love in my family. That's not how my dad showed love to me. Much more, that's not how my dad showed love to my mom. Diba? Until my dad's death day, talagang it was really my mom. That was his priority. So parang doon ko naintindihan, kaya siguro I now understand why I had to end and get out of that unhealthy marriage. Okay? Because that's not how I want to be loved. That's not how I define love. Because my barometer of love is this. This is how I grew up. Diba? My parents were very consistent. I've seen how they loved each other. I've seen how they loved us. So parang hindi ito yung deserve ko. Okay? So now you start to heal also and you understand, okay, you forgive yourself and move forward. Okay? So understand your childhood experiences is the first step to healing. And the fact that you're here, you're trying to understand your experiences. Okay. Number 2, I hope that you now understand how important it is to be in interdependent relationships. Diba? Hindi ito yung ikaw lang yung magbibigay. Bakit puro ako? Ba't puro ako lang yung umiintindi? I hear that a lot of times. Bakit ako na lang yung nag-a-adjust? Bakit palaging wala siyang pakialam? Ba't palaging ako yung kailangan magpaliwanag? So, hindi ganun yung relationship, diba? It's not one way. Relationships do not work one way. No matter what you do, you can't make it work. Relationships are always two-way. They should be interdependent. I can meet my own needs and I am also comfortable in expressing my needs to you. Diba? Yung relationship, kahit friendship yan, diba? Kaya ko nang wala ka, pero I will express. Kasi you're a safe person for me. I'll tell you, okay, this is what I need from you as a friend. This is my need from you as a partner. I am worthy to be listened to. Yun yung sinasabi mo sa sarili mo. Kaya kong ibigay ito, pero gusto ko rin naman, 'di ba? I would express to you na okay, gusto ko rin tong igawin mo para sa akin. 'Di ba? So doon na ngayon papasok yung love language. Ano ba yung love language mo? 'Di ba? So kung ikaw ay nasa isang romantic relationship, 'di ba? Then talk to each other and ask each other also, ano ba, how do I meet your needs? Oh, gusto mo ba ng physical touch? Gusto mo ba ng receiving gifts? O then I will give that to you. Diba? And you will have to give it to me as well. Diba? It has to work both ways. And that's the only way that can make this relationship work, even again in all aspects of relationships. Okay? So that's the second, interdependent relationships. Okay. Next, you have to learn to give to yourself what you weren't able to receive from childhood. Okay? Wala na tayong magagawa from the past. I always would remind clients when they go here for consultation, for sessions, I always would tell them, wala na yun tayong magagawa. Diba? Maintindihan mo ngayon, naintindihan mo na, ganito pala. Ito pala yung issue ko. Ito pala yung nangyari. Diba? Kaya nga, I highly encourage all of you. We have this, of course, you know, the flagship program of RCW, RCW1. Diba? That's how you heal from your childhood wounds. You now learn to give to yourself what you weren't able to receive from childhood. So these are my wounds. And from these wounds, I will make sure that I will not scar anyone in my family, my loved ones, my friends, okay, my partner, okay? But I will also be comfortable to give myself what I was not able to receive. Diba? Ako ngayon, kaya ko yan ibigay. I will empower myself. I can do it. I will give what I was not able to receive. Okay? So kailangan gumawa tayo either if you can attend our seminar, our program RCW1, that would definitely help you heal, okay? Or of course consult professionals also. Ngayon, just be more mindful, 'di ba? Ano nga yung hindi mo na-receive? Attention, love ba yan? Affirmation ba yan? Validation ba yan? Now, start giving it to yourself. Diba? Don't wait for people to give that to you. Ikaw mismo ang magbibigay niyan sa sarili mo. Okay? And of course, when the going gets tough at hindi talaga ito kaya na at talagang medyo hindi ko na to maproseso, then go to professionals like us. Okay? That will help you heal the wound of childhood. That would heal the wound of attachment. Diba? That I want to be better. Diba? Na kaya nga nakakatuwa, marami na pong mga humihingi ngayon ng tulong at talagang sinasabi nila, please help me. I want to become a better person, not just for my children, but for myself. Because growing up, it has been so chaotic already. And I now believe, sabi nga nung isang client niya, I now believe that I don't deserve that chaos. I deserve better. And so, please help me. Diba? Parang, please help me heal. Please help me understand so that I don't pass on the wounds that I got from my own parents. Okay? So, these are just some of the steps that would help you heal from attachment issues. And so, one thing also that I'd like to remind all of you, lahat po ng mga, lalo na ng mga coming from that insecure attachment styles, they need acknowledgement, appreciation, and to feel safe in their relationships. If you know people who are coming from the insecure attachment styles, acknowledge them. Diba? See them, hear them. Diba? Nadidinig kita. Present ka. Importante ka sa akin. I appreciate you. Diba? Kung ano man yung binigay sa'yo, kahit pa yan turon, naalala ka, binati ka, I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for doing that. At kung meron siyang gustong sabihin sa'yo, hayaan mo siya. Hindi yung parang ano yun? Bakit? Parang defensive. Hindi. Hayaan mo siya para ngayon, I now feel safe. Diba? I can express my needs without having to worry about your reaction, or I'm safe kasi I know you will understand me no matter how painful maybe what I would tell you or what I would say. I feel safe. I remember, naalala ko yung my daughter. One time yan, sabi lang niya sa akin, she was I think first year college or high school. Sabi lang niya, "Mommy, can I talk to you?" Sabi niya, "But don't be angry, ha? I wanted to tell you something." So and then she shared something that I did to her daw when she was young. So sabi niya, pina-explain niya. Diba? So nung in-explain ko sa kanya kung I didn't mean that way, sabi ko, I'm so sorry for, kasi parang sabi ko sa kanya, ano ba yon? I always would remind her daw kasi na tawa ko. No? Kasi palagi nila ako niloloko, "Mommy, magpalaipo ka na." So sabi ko, ay nako, payat kaya ako nung college. So I was pushing always, especially with my daughter that time, yung mga jeans ko na size 23 yung bewang. So niloloko ko siya, ako nga 23, ikaw 26, ginaganon ko. But I didn't know she got hurt with that. So there was just one time after a week or two, when she came to me and just told me, "Mommy, can I talk to you but don't be angry?" Sabi ko, "Of course I won't." Sabi ko sa kanya. Tapos then she started crying. Kasi syempre, di ba, yung age na yun, adolescent, very, very, how do you say that? Very conscious with how they look, especially with social media around. So parang sabi niya, Mommy, I remember you always would tell me about this. Sabi niya, and I got hurt and I got conscious. That's why I don't want to eat. Gumanon siya. So I acknowledge. Okay? I told her, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, anak. I didn't mean that way. I was just making fun of the situation because you were saying magpalay po ako. So I was just trying to make it light by saying 23 bewang ko nung college. Parang ganon. But I didn't mean to make you feel bad. Okay? So we were able to talk about it. I was able to apologize. She was able to understand where I am coming from. And so, tapos. Issue closed. Diba? So, napaka-importante po talaga na yung ating mga relationship, again, they need to feel safe. Diba? Whatever it is that I would like to express to you, I know you will understand me. Okay? And so, before I finally end, so that we'll have ample time po to entertain if there would be questions or reactions or violent reactions, I would like to read to you, and I hope before you also, like when we end this session, I'd like you to reflect on it. Maybe you could also write a letter to yourself and maybe assuring yourself how you could give something that you weren't able to receive when you were a child. Then maybe that would also be the beginning of healing for you. Okay? Sino ba dito yung may perfect na childhood? Wala naman. Diba? Lahat naman tayo, we all have our own wounds. It's just a matter of like probably one may be bigger or graver, but we all have our childhood wounds. Okay? So it's very important to assure ourselves that, hey, I got you, I got your back. Okay, so let me read to you this letter, okay, that I did, okay, years back. And maybe you would like to also do also create a letter for yourself. So here we go. Dear self, I see you. I see the wounds that have shaped you, the pains that have lingered, and the scars that still feel tender. I know that the roots of these hurts go deep back to a time when you were small and vulnerable, when you needed safety, love, and connection. But instead, there were moments when you felt unseen, unheard, or even abandoned. These experiences left their mark, creating patterns of fear, doubt, and insecurity that have followed you into adulthood. But today, I want to tell you that healing is possible. The journey may be long and winding, but it is one that you are capable of taking. It starts with acknowledging the pain, not as a weakness or failure, but as a reality that deserves attention and care. As you walk this path, remember that you are not defined by your wounds. They are a part of your story, but they're not the whole story. Within you is a strength that has carried you this far, a resilience that has allowed you to survive and even thrive despite the challenges. These strengths will be your guide as you begin to heal. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to feel deserving of the care and affection you longed for. Surround yourself with people who can offer support and who can walk with you in this process of healing. In time, you will find that the wounds begin to close, that the scars fade, and that the pain lessens. You will find that you are capable of giving and receiving love in ways that once seemed impossible. And most importantly, you will find that you are worthy of all the good things that life has to offer. So keep going, keep healing, keep believing in the possibility of a future where the past no longer defines you. With love and compassion, me. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that when we close this session, you would be the first one to give that love, the attention, and the care that you rightfully deserve. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Nina. Let's give Nina a big round of applause. As usual, she is so very clear in her presentations. And one thing I love about Nina's applications are so on point and spot on. And I think that comes directly from her being so much in the life of a lot of people, cross-section of all the people that she helps, whether in the classroom, outside, or in the counseling office. So also this is a reminder that Nina is open for personal counseling as well as even giving this kind of lectures. This is one of our most sought after Taragana speakers, whether online or like right in person. So Nance, thank you so much again for this. And I would say to everybody present that this is one of the most currently focused on in what we call the inner child work. Where did all of these wounding effects from which we actually are now seemingly struggling with in adult life, where are they coming from? And so our favorite twist to the question, anong problema ng taong yan? Is usually, saan kaya galing yun? So with this, I think there are a lot of those who are interested to ask additional questions, Names. So if I may, and I think you could also read them. I was asking them to either say whatever they have learned from the talk, but there are a lot of those things. And as you would notice, we emphasize on giving you tools. And Nina gives you a smorgasbord of tools. So how can this, thank you so much for this talk. Did you read that, Names? How can we now give ourselves what we were not able to receive from childhood? I know you partly already answered this, but maybe for AC, if AC want to open up and maybe, like interact with Nina, very well, please do so. But just the same, Names, would you like to start answering that question?
Okay. Now that you recognize that these are the things that I have not received from childhood, then maybe you are now, you will begin now to give what you weren't able to receive. So say for instance, it was attention and that unconditional love. Ikaw ang unang magbigay ng attention, give that attention to yourself. I'm beautiful, diba? Or unconditional love, like regardless of my figure, I am beautiful, I am loved. Diba? Ikaw yung mag-a-appreciate kung hindi mo yun nabigay, start giving that to yourself until it becomes natural, until it becomes sincere. And of course, just earlier, I mentioned about our RCW1. If you would want to attend that, that will definitely help you heal and process everything that you went through. Okay, and then hopefully you start loving and giving what you deserve to give yourself.
So that's a very, very straightforward answer to the question. And I think this underscores, or this underlines what we basically like really teach in almost all of our workshops, which is to have a loving, nurturing relationship with yourself, basically. Because this is the person that is 24/7 with us all the time. And yet we keep on waiting for some others to give to us what we actually do give to ourselves. And science and religion and spirituality have all kind of coincided in teaching us that what we begin to really like give to ourselves actually changes us, oh, more even from inside out, no? So thank you for that answer, Nins. And I think what you have given, I'm not very sure if this is now like on FB Live. We would always encourage you to again listen and maybe take down more notes because the tools are actually there, okay? And there's one other question. I think there are two parts of this question. Now, how do I help the older generation heal? Especially if they still are hurting us. Medyo, it's like, as you say that we can't really do much for them,
Yes.
but maybe there are suggestions you can just throw in. Nins, would you like to answer that, please?
Okay. Medyo it's going to be challenging because we're not able to control other people, diba? No matter, well, we could try to communicate again what hurt us, or we'd like to have an open communication with them, pero kung talagang close sila, then maybe again you start with yourself, diba? No matter what they say, no matter what they do, hindi ako yon, or hindi yon yung magde-define sa akin, kasi ito ako ngayon, 'di ba? That I am loved, and that I see myself as whole, that I see myself as worthy of love, care, and attention. Okay? Kasi wala po tayong magagawa pag nagawa na natin yung lahat ng pwede nating extend, talk to them, wala na tayong magagawa, then focus on yourself. Anyway, the best asset that we have is ourselves. Kasi yun talaga. 24/7, you only have yourself, 'di ba, to take care of. So, hindi pwedeng pabayaan natin yung sarili natin.
Thank you for that, Nins. And maybe as a segue to that, because there's a question, especially when they're hurting you still. So
Yes.
you also answered that indirectly. If we are now taking care of ourselves, we're now the ones loving ourselves. No matter what they do, it's not about us anymore. It's about them. So that's the change in the consciousness that can truly give us the liberty or the freedom to be affected. Or we create the boundary that we need na kahit anong sabi nila, intindihin natin na may pinanggalingan yon, di ba? At hindi na yon kasi I'm not defined by that anymore. Ako na yung magde-define kung ano yung mabuti sa akin. So itong mga salitang ito na nakakasakit, halimbawa, no? Eh, galing sa kanila yun kasi hurt people hurt.
Yeah.
Wounded people wound. And they bleed on people around them. So sa atin na lang, ayoko na mapableed sa akin. Ako na yun gagawa ng paraan na hindi ako masyadong naapektuhan. Intindihin ko na sa kanila yung galing. And this is the cue actually that you said. The moment we begin changing our reaction to their hurting, we actually introduce a different pattern, which is like, it could be as simple as, oh mama, talaga, naintindihan kong pinanggalingan niya ng talagang sama ng loob mo sa akin. I'm so sorry really to hear that. Alam mo, ganito ang ginagawa ko ngayon. Di ko na talaga, I'm not taking it against you. Kasi naintindihan ko na masyado palang malupit si Nola, no? So it can be a conversation that could start that way. Kaya na nag-take ako ng RCW1. Alam mo, the number one na tinuturo nila, stop blaming, because blaming handcuffs you to the past. And what you're complaining about usually stops when you begin to do something about it. Ito yun, ano? Natuwa lang ako kasi kahit si Kamala Harris says that the teaching of her mother was like, don't complain, do something about it. Di ba ganun siya? And natawa ako because sabi ko yung turo-turo na rin natin yan, di ba na? Sometimes we just keep on blaming and we stay in the wound that way because we wound ourselves and we wound others as well when we keep on blaming and complaining. So we don't believe in that. So what we're teaching is, because that will perpetuate this pattern and they will continue within us. Kaya the shift in that consciousness is, alam ko yung pinanggalingan yan, pero hindi ko na yan papatuloy sa akin. I will break the pattern by taking care of me. And then it does make its own thing felt na after a while, hindi mo na siya, kahit sasabihin pag ginagawa pa nila yun, hindi ka na nasasaktan. Because you're coming from a different understanding of this. I hope that also adds to that. So, Rita, I hope that has answered your question. Okay. Now, another one, This is from Jenica Nepomuceno. How do you help a person, it's a person close to me, who is aware of their attachment style? They're disorganized and fearful, but refuses to address it because it has become their comfort zone. What can you say? What can I say to that person? Nins?
You can only do so much, Jeka. Mahirap tulungan yung taong ayaw magpatulong. Maybe as a friend, you can just, alam mo yun, be there, explain. Again, try to assure that you're a safe person to talk to and that you feel that that person needs help and that she's coming or he's coming from that attachment. But ayaw niyang tanggapin, then you can only do so much, diba? Parang that's the end of it. Kasi mahirap naman, you're always coming from rescuing people, diba? We cannot rescue people 24/7. They're their own person, diba? We are our own person. We can just be the best person to listen to them, but the one who should be living their life is them. So hanggang dun lang. Kung tapos na yung nagawa mo, end na tayo doon. Cheka. Huwag mong ubusin ang iyong sarili.
That's so true.
Yes.
And maybe just to add to that, sometimes, you
Yes.
know, I get the same question. And then I usually would say, if you have done all you could, you can just probably give a feedback that, you know, I'm seeing you, you know, that fear and all this, you know, agitation seem to be like, you know, causing you a lot of pain and at the same time of stress. I really, how I wish you can really get out from that, because you're such a lovely person, but you're like so also adding up to your own whatever it is. Kahit sabihin mo comfort zone nila yon. When you give feedback like that you are noticing the stress that they create. Because sa totoo lang talaga, when we are coming from fear, constant fear, and disorganization, and we are dysregulated all the time, it really affects our nervous system. And so the moment our nervous system is affected, ay sangkatutak na yan na sakit ang lalabas talaga, di ba? And we get very, very exhausted in no time. So it's like being our own self-flagellator, na parang sinasaktan pa rin natin yung sarili natin. So sometimes in a matter of like, you know, parang conversational, alam mo, ganun din ako kung minsan pag nagalit ako, talagang nawawalan na ako ng talagang parang energy sa buong araw because I spend it too much on the stress. And I kind of like, somehow, you know, my nervous system gets so affected and burdened. Okay, there's another question here from AC again. Thank you so much for this enlightening talk. Ang dami nagpa-thank you sa your names, ha? May I ask if it is okay to talk to a 14-year-old child about these attachment styles? Is there an age that is considered too early to talk to kids about this? Or is any age all right as long as it's given age appropriate?
Yes, I agree. It could be talk to any age as long as you're able to explain in the most appropriate manner and explain to them what's the intention of talking to them about it. So yun lang, it has to be developmentally and age appropriate.
Very good. And sometimes, you know, if you can add to the conversation them, you know, if you know that that's the manifestation, di ba, ganun.
Yes.
You turn it into a simple question for them, and they could relate with that. Pick up yun.
Yes.
Magalit, parang ganon. Parang tapos kung nagalit ka, parang talaga hindi mo makakontrol ganyan. Then you know that's like, ano kaya nangyari? Nang, you know, bata ka pa, whatever. So it's always the desire to know and to own up and to be able to come to terms with, yeah, this happened to me, but I'm not going to like be kind of imprisoned by this. Like you said very well. It's just like a sentence in my life. It doesn't define me. It does not become a life sentence in itself.
That's right. I agree.
So Nins, again, a lot of thank you. Very heartwarming.
Thank you.
Especially daw yung from Dave Hagonoy, although Dave ang pangalan, I think she's a female. Thank you, Nins. I love the presentation and so love the heartwarming letter to the self. I love that letter as well. And sana nga, that can become a template for all of us to write that letter. And you can, you know, with the writing of the letter, you can revise it as you learn to even love yourself more.
That's right.
Then may mga additional, I'm sure you did not write that on all at once, diba?
Yes.
It's like, it also like evolved as you also like evolved yourself.
That's
Okay,
right.
again, thank you from Susan. Thank you from Neman. Very helpful daw from Neman. I understand how I relate with others better where it's coming from. That's so good. All right, thank you from Cheng. Melita, how can you help? Ito na yan. 14-year-old boy who has three girlfriends, 14-year-old. One is older by 2 to 3 years. She also embraces her girl classmates every now and then. Mother is OFW and has not come from home for 10 years. Father and mother are separate and he has no communication with his father. He's an only child. Thank you for the reply. This is Melita. And maybe she is related to this boy, and that's why she
Mhm.
knows the background.
Yes, yes.
This boy definitely having three girlfriends is like famished for this kind of attachment. Means
Yes.
like
And so probably also coming from that desperate need to be loved or to be given attention to, since mother is an OFW, so most likely yun nga, there would be like the bond is not very strong, plus the father, that boy has no communication too. So like both important figures in the life of the boy, they're not present. So talagang baka the boy finds so much love, so much attention from all those girlfriends, okay, believing that it is love, but it is probably just parang attending to that wound of lack of love, attention, and care. So I hope that this boy or the parents would realize this and consider probably that it's not yet, while it's not yet too late to have this boy attend sessions so that we could help him heal from that abandonment trauma probably, so that he starts to realize what a healthy relationship should be.
great answer, Nins. Now, so
Yeah.
Lloyd, Mandita Lloyd, if you're related to the parents and have a chance, I think you have to follow what Nina was suggesting. Get help for him, and maybe when he has this better self-understanding, he could actually address his needs better rather than in this kind of dysfunctional way. Okay, thank you for that. Again, from City Rabaul from PNG. Thank you very much, Ms. Nina, for your information, which allowed us to go back to our growing years and to connect with and understand our present realities. Then Edwin, thank you, Nina. Okay, Dan, thank you to Edwin for being here. And then that's it. So there's a comment, stop blaming, stop complaining, choose awareness and break the cycle. And then we cannot do anything about others. Yes, hurt people hurt. It's not about you, it's about us, like guts. Set boundaries, so right. Don't exhaust yourself. Give your best and know when to let go. That is very wise. You cannot just be the savior of the world, okay, all the time. Thank you for the enlightenment. That's from Jessie. And then there's a comment there, heal your abandonment wounds to discover the path to a healthy relationship. Very well said. So Ria, I was an absentee mother and did not show good examples to my children until I changed my life and habits when my kids were ages 7, 6, and 2. Since then, I've been consistent in trying to be the best mother and person I could be, with mistakes, of course. My question is, did I already create these unhealthy attachments at kids' school? Are they already doomed, or is there a chance that they can have secure and healthy attachments? Thank you. Nins?
Of course, they're not doomed, Rio. There will always be that time to talk. Okay, talk to your children, apologize to them. I've seen a lot of healing stories here in RCW. Okay, they did not start right, but they were able to talk. They were able to speak from their hearts without having to walk on eggshells. They were able to release all the pain. They were able to explain, and they were able to forgive. And
Yes.
so healing started, and now they are in healthy relationships. And so I'm sure you would also have that with your kids, Rio.
Thank you for that question, Ria. And as like a rejoinder again, maybe it might be good for you to also like go through the RCW process so that you could definitely relate with that in the developmental stages, and it's easier for you to relate back with your kids. And don't be, parents make all kind of boo-boos and be very forgiving and compassionate with the self, and just know this, and we all believe it in RCW, everything is reversible, and that's
Yes.
the good news. As long as we do the work, a little bit of loving of the self, and then everything else can work out too. There are two other. Can you still stay a bit, Nance?
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay, well, anyway, the rest are just, you may not have started right, but it's also the right end that counts. So well said, Rita. Thank you for that. Thank you from Rita. Thank you for Rio, from Rio as well. So I think with this, hopefully
Yes.
this whetted your appetite to really understand more about where we came from, and not, instead of blaming the past and just complaining about it. I think what Nina gave you is there is a way to healing and to take care of us, and to even like come from whatever we came from, to come to the place where we most can be ourselves. So Nina's last words as we say goodbye to them.
Okay, so I always would remind parents it's easier really to build strong children than to repair broken adults. So please make sure, to help me in my advocacy to building strong children by being, of course, parents who are loving, parents who are consistent, and parents who are also humble enough to tell their kids that I am not also perfect. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. Thank you, Miss H.
Well, thank you again to everybody.
Thank
And
you,
Nina,
everyone.
I just to repeat that you know that she's available to be invited as well. You can do that directly with her or through RCW.